Hello everyone, good evening. What a lovely evening today. So I am Dr. Anisha. Welcome you all my dear students in Sri Chaitanya's new bridge course. So what is this bridge course? This bridge course which fills the gap between the 10th and 11th standard, a little small gap which will help you in scoring the perfect score for zoology and botany. We know the importance of this bridge course for the physics, chemistry and other subjects. And what is the importance of the bridge course for the zoology? In zoology, we have seen many terminologies, many small tricks to remember things. This bridge course will fill the gap that will help you in scoring the maximum number you want for your perfect score. So what is this NEET about? As you all are aspirants of NEET 2027, you all are the aspirants for 2027 NEET, and to score the maximum marks 720 out of 720, you need to score full marks, the perfect score in each and every subject. So what is the secret tip for that? Secret tip for 180 in zoology, we will be discussing it over a period of time, over many lectures and of course in this whole bridge course process. So first of all, this bridge course will start with few of the introductory part of the zoology. Do you all know what is zoology? Of course, my very bright and dear students, you all know what is zoology. And can I have some of the hand raisings? Which is the most favorite part of the zoology you enjoy? Of course, zoology is the study of animal biology. And in the animal biology section, we will first start with the introduction of the zoology. An introduction to zoology. So what is zoology? Zoo and logy. Logos is the study. Zoo is the animals. So studying the different type of animals is the zoology or animal biology. Right? So here we are. The zoology subject. This is the person whom we know as the father of zoology. Who is the father of zoology? Father of zoology is the great Greek philosopher Aristotle. Aristotle is not only the father of zoology, he is also the father of biology. Biology, animal biology is the zoology. So now students, you tell me, who is the father of botany? Same way. The story of zoology and botany goes parallelly. The introduction, the history goes from the ancient times of Greece. So what is the story behind it? Zoology is the subject in which Aristotle was studying and doing various research. Aristotle had a great friend, Theophrastus, who simultaneously, parallelly was working with the great Greek founder, zoologist, the Aristotle. Theophrastus and Aristotle, they were studying the animals and the plants together, and since we know that's ancient times, zoology has become the father of zoology is Aristotle and father of botany is the Theophrastus. So what all we are going to study in zoology? Okay, so all of you must be knowing what all we are going to study in zoology, what all chapters are included from NTA for the NEET exams. Yes, definitely you all know. So what are the various chapters we will be discussing here? Any idea? Any guesses? Yes. So it is starting with the structural organization. Very good. A lot of you know about the Theophrastus, a lot of you know about Aristotle. Very good, very encouraging, and I am very happy that you all are such bright students. A very good response. Thanks all of you. So everyone will be knowing what is the subject zoology. Zoology is the scientific study of animals and their behavior, physiology, classification and their distribution. Right? So animal behavior, physiology, classification and distribution, everything includes zoology. Zoology is the whole study, studying the whole organism, the whole animal, their behavior, how they react in the environment, how they behave among themselves, what are their body made up of, and what is going on with their psychology, with their body structures and different types of organs. That whole thing, The study of the animal and animals' biology and their surrounding is included in zoology. So first of all, we will be coming here in the NEET syllabus. Before starting with the NEET syllabus, we all must be knowing 720 marks, total marks for the NEET exam, right? So now in this 720 marks, 180 is for zoology and 180 for botany. 180 in zoology scoring is not very tough, but yes, it requires consistency, consistent labor, hard work, as well as consistent memories, as well as we need a complete dedication of you and dedication from our team will be provided to you. So both of us together will have a good result. As we all know, Sri Chaitanya has been producing this beautiful range of results where students have achieved their medical colleges dreams. They have reached the dream of the colleges they have always thought of. So now we all are trying our level best to provide the same for you, and this bridge course is just their beginning. So students, we are starting with the first zoology part of the bridge course. What all chapters are included? The structural organization in animals. The structural organization in animals dealing with the various parts of the animal tissues as well as with the various parts of the organ systems. What all are organs, organ system, tissues are made up of, including the cockroach and the frog. We will have to deal with whole part of the cockroach and frog, their anatomy, their structure, as well as their detailed body conversions. Now we are coming to the animal kingdom. What is this animal kingdom? Animal kingdom, we all know the organisms or the whole biosphere is divided into 5 kingdom. 5 kingdom classification by R.H. Whitaker. So this 5 kingdom, the Monera, the Protista, the fungi, as well as the plants and the animals. So we will be dealing with kingdom Animalia. In short, we can say the animal kingdom. Human physiology. Yes, this is the essence of the subject. This is the part which brings you to have a dream of becoming a doctor. Right? Right, all of you? Yes, of course. It is this part of the biology, human physiology, dealing with the each and every aspect of human body. The breathing system, the respiration, the circulation, even the nervous system, the chemical coordination, everything, starting from the skeletal system, starting from the head to toe, we have to study here. So this includes the human physiology, which we will be dealing with in zoology. Next, it is the human health and disease, as well as human reproduction and reproductive health. They are very, very important chapters from the point of view of the exams. Human health and disease includes different types of body infections, body disorders, as well as the diseases which can be contagious, which can be non-contagious. So don't worry, we will be dealing each and every tough terminologies, difficult words, or the words which you tend to forget during the exams, during this bridge course. Evolution, as we all know, we all have evolved from single cell organism into multicellular complex structures. So evolution is the most basic and the most important part of this whole system of biology. So studying evolution is not just interesting, it is almost like watching a Discovery Channel. Yes, it is, you are right. Evolution is almost like this, studying the Discovery Channel. We will be seeing how unicellular structures are converting itself into multicellular, and multicellular structures are becoming more and more complex, and finally we are here in the form of human body. So yes, evolution is one of the most important and the toughest part of whole biological system. Human genetics, yes, we are in the era of genes, chromosomes and biotechnology. So biotechnology, human genome project, studying the gene, chromosome and each and every part of their levels will be dealt here in human genetics as well as the biotechnological part. And as we all know, the biotechnology has evolved. The biotechnology has evolved from making curd at home, which we call the kitchen technology. So starting from making the curd at home, we have now reached making insulin. Not just insulin, the gene therapy. The incurable diseases are now curable just because of this gene therapy if treated at the right time. various types of chemotherapy and other things. How is it possible? All because of the dedication of our scientists in the field of biotechnology, gene therapy and genomics. Yes, you have to study and you also have to be masters in biotechnology and applications too. And the last part is the ecology. Ecology is very interesting, as we know that ecology is the part which is not only dealing with the human body, it is dealing with the human body and its surrounding and the plants, the organisms and each and every structure which is present around them. Human body dealing with the plant, human body dealing with the other animal and other species, the soil, the nature, how each and everything is reacting to our body or how we react to these environments is ecology. So these are these various chapters that you will be discussing for your NEET 2027. So yes, it sounds really interesting and it starts with the bridge course. We are going to start now. So this is the biology we are starting with. This is a very basic biology and we all know this very basic biology has to be starting at any point which is almost like a tip of a needle. So we will be starting with the different branches of zoology. What are the different branches of zoology? We all know different branches which can be divided into vertebrates and invertebrates. Yes. So what are these we can call vertebrates and these invertebrates? What are these vertebrates and invertebrates? If we have a vertebral column in the organism, vertebral column we all must be knowing, we all must be aware of the vertebral column now. So if organism has a vertebral column, the organism will be regarded as the vertebrates. And if the organism has no vertebral column, then the organism will be an invertebrate. This much we already know because this is the simplest part of the bridge course. So this part is the simplest part now as we are starting it. Okay. So vertebrates, they have this vertebral column, which all organisms are included here. The organisms are fishes, the amphibians, the reptiles, the birds and the mammals, right? And the organism which are included as the invertebrates. Invertebrates are different type of organisms. Invertebrates, we have many organisms. Just to name a few, I have taken some examples which I think you all know. I am very sure you all know it. So snails, land snails, the snails which are present inside the water, in the land, terrestrial snails, any kind of insects, Let the insect be a mosquito or maybe that insect can be a cockroach. Any insect you name it. You can see the insects even inside your books which you have not turned since ages. You can see small white color insects. These are silverfish. The name is fish but it is an insect. So there are many insects. You cannot even imagine how many insects are there. And these are the insects which we know, and there are many more are left to be discovered. So insects make most of the part of our body, most of the part of our biological system. So insects, sponges, jellyfishes and starfishes. These are the few examples of the organisms which do not have invertebrates. Now this vertebral column, what is the use of this vertebral column? Why do organisms have it? What is the problem? They are also surviving without the vertebral column, but why do we need vertebral column for the vertebrates? Vertebrates are considered higher organisms than invertebrates. Why? Because this vertebral column protects their spinal cord, and the spinal cord is the part of the nervous system, specifically central nervous system. So our nervous system is protected well within a cage which we call vertebral column. They have nervous system, of course they have, but it is not as developed as us. It is not as developed as a bird or a mammal. Insect has a nervous system, but it is not very well developed like the birds or the mammals. So the purpose of vertebral column is for the protection of the nervous system, the spinal cord or the central nervous system. Alright. So let's move on to the next part of it, the different studies of the zoology. Like studying of the insects. If we study the insects, what are these called? Study of insects. You have seen it a lot. But did you know there is a terminology for studying the insects? Yes, the study for studying the insects is called as the entomology. Entomo is the insects. So study of the insects is the entomology. Similarly, a term is given for the birds too. That is called as ornithology. Ornithology is the study of birds. A scientist is there in India who is well renowned for his contribution in the birds and their studies. He is known as Birdman of India, the great ornithologist of India. Who can tell me the name? The name of the greatest ornithologist of India? Anybody? Okay, let's not have any surprises. I'll tell you the name, that is Dr. Salim Ali. Dr. Salim Ali is also known as the Birdman of India, right? So he is known as the Birdman of India as he has many contributions in the field of ornithology, specifically in Indian birds. Alright? So ornithology is the study of birds. So these are the minute differences, these are the minute details which can make you a step ahead in your NEET exam, specifically the NEET 2027, because the competition is cutthroat. Even a single chance you just cannot miss. Maybe a question from ornithology, maybe just a question, just an MCQ, maybe this whole thought or this whole process, the whole concept is applied somewhere or the other. We don't know that. So you just cannot leave any stones unturned. You have to go through it every day. So this is the first part of it, reading each and every detail. And don't think this is not in your syllabus. Of course it is in your syllabus and they can be asked in the NEET exam too. So moving on to the next part of the studies, where we specifically studies the reptiles. The study of the reptiles are called as herpetology. Herpetology is the study of reptiles. And can you name the reptiles? Yes, there are many names of the reptiles. For example, the snakes, the example we can see. Snakes, lizards and crocodiles, alligators, tortoises, turtles, many more. And did you know this fact that the greatest reptiles which dominated our earth, the largest organisms, one of the largest organisms that dominated on earth were reptiles? Who can tell me the names? Yes, exactly. That is the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are the reptiles which dominated the earth for a very, very long time. And you all must have seen the movies of dinosaurs. These dinosaurs, they actually survived, they actually dominated, and due to various reasons, now they are extinct from our planet. Yes, many good and very interesting students are there. And I really appreciate your contribution in this. Thank you all of you. So let's move on to the mammalogy. So what is this mammalogy? Mammalogy is the study of mammals. What are these mammals? Mammals are the organisms which are included in the mammals, the class Mammalia. So class Mammalia includes humans, includes the elephant, includes the dog, cat, cow, buffalo, horse, rabbit, any organism that you see commonly around you, they are all included as the mammals. And study of the fishes. Study of fishes is called as ichthyology. Ichthyology is the study of fishes, and these fishes, they can be a river water fish, we call as the freshwater fishes. And some of them, we all know, they can be the fishes which live in, yes, of course, they live in marine water also. So oceanic fishes are there. There are river or freshwater fishes are there. Some fishes lives in the estuaries, brackish water fishes also. So fishes can be, yes, of course, the fishes can be which can live in the fresh water, which can live in the ocean or the sea water, and there are fishes who moves either from freshwater to seawater or from seawater to freshwater. Yes, you are right, you are thinking, you are correct thinking that fishes do move like the birds. How birds move from extreme cold temperature to a normal cold environment, Siberian crane, they move, they migrate, like that the fishes also migrate. So fishes also migrate to have a good environment and a good area, the optimum temperature, so that they can lay eggs or they can have a good environment surrounding them. So migration, there are birds, migration there are in the fishes also. So studying of these fishes, that is called as the ichthyology. So what all we have learned? Various terminologies and their related points. The herpetology, I think everybody will now remember them. The herpetology, the mammalogy, the entomology, ornithology, as well as ichthyology. These are the various important aspects of zoology. Now let's moving on to the different branches of zoology. These are the different subjects which are present if you go for a higher studies in the zoology branch. Zoology is a very huge branch and it has many subjects in them. So what are these branches? Most of these branches I am very sure you all know, because you all are very interesting and very intelligent students. So we are moving on to the first branch, that is called as the morphology. So what is morphology? Morphology means the study of the external appearance. How frog appear? It has head, it has a trunk, it has two limbs, two pairs of limbs, four limbs, hind limbs. So we are studying it externally. That external appearance is called as the morphology. Alright. Similarly, the anatomy. Anatomy means it is the studying them in detail from inside. What all bones are there, what all muscles are there, which nerves is moving in which direction, which nerve is supplying the brain, that is called as the anatomy. Cytology. Cytology is called as the studying of cells. So, if we go for cytology, I am very sure you must be knowing what are the different types of cells are there based on the presence or absence of chlorophyll, based on the presence or absence of nucleus. So, the most primitive type of cell is prokaryotic. Little more developed, it is the eukaryotic. Of course it is. And eukaryotic cells also can be plant cell and animal cell. So plant cells, they have chlorophyll in them, chlorophyll which is the photosynthetic pigment, as well as the animal cells. Animal cells, they do not have any photosynthetic pigments, so these are the animal cells. Now animal cells or plant cells, eukaryotic cell or a prokaryotic cell, studying of any variety of cells is called as the cytology. Okay? Okay. Now we are coming to the, yes, of course, WBC, RBC, platelets, everything is a cell, definitely, you are right. Now we are coming to the study of histology. What is this studying of histology called? Studying of histology, yes, it is studying of the tissues. Studying any type of tissues is called as the histology. Now what are tissues? Group of cells having similar structure, similar function and same origin. You all know this, and I am very happy that you all know these basic differences between the cell and the tissue and the definition of tissue. So tissues are aggregates or group of cells having similar structure, similar function as well as their origin. They are originating from the same place. So that group of cells is called as the tissues, and when we are studying the tissues, they are called as histology. So histology is the study of tissues. Okay. So now you all are understanding what we are discussing here, what we are going to discuss further also. So I hope you all are enjoying, and stay focused. Stay focused as you are going for a very big exam in the 2027. So stay focused, and focus is your prime most important thing in your life. So staying focused and staying towards the board right now is the only thing that you have right now. Alright? Don't think of anything else. Don't think of who is there, who is not there, what is happening. Just stay on your focus, stay focused on your studies. Because If you are not focused, if you are distracted, then it is very difficult for you to obtain your proper result. So let's get back to the embryology now. What is embryology? This embryology, we all have heard of the terminology called embryo, right? So what is this embryology? Embryo. Embryo means a group of cells which has so much of potential to form a whole complete organism is an embryo. So can you imagine the nature? It is so potent, just only 2 or 4 group of cells can give rise to the whole human body. That is an embryo. And studying these group of cells are called as the embryology. So this studying of the embryos is the embryology. Now this embryology deals with embryo of various kinds of organisms. Vertebrates specifically have these embryos, and studying each and every type of vertebrate embryos comes under embryology. In fact, when you go for a higher education in the zoology or in the field of medicine also, in the field of medicine, in the subject anatomy, you are going to get this subject human embryology, or in case of zoology, animal embryology is there. Alright. So next, coming to the part called as physiology. So what is this physiology? Physio word means how the body is functioning, how we are breathing, how our blood is circulating, how our brain is thinking, and how our muscles are moving. Everything is physiology. So we all know the structure, how it is appearing externally, how it is appearing internally, but how it is working, that is physiology. So how everything is working, how your heart beats, how your kidney filters and form the urine, how your brain thinks, what you are seeing right now, this visual sensation is a physiology. So everything that is happening inside an organism's body, whether it is a hydra, whether it is an amoeba or a human body, is called as physiology. So body functioning, studying the body functioning is called as physiology. So body functions is the physiology. And now it is the time again for the evolutionary biology. So evolutionary biology, how we have evolved from single cell to multicellular organism, as we have discussed earlier, that is called as evolutionary biology. So evolutionary biology is the studying of the evolution of each and every organism on this earth, whether it is a plant, whether it is human, whether it is a rabbit, whether it is a dinosaur. How we have evolved and how we have reached here on this earth is called as evolution, and studying them is the evolutionary biology. Ecology, how we are reacting to our surrounding, is the ecology. How animals are behaving with their surrounding is called as the ecology. So animal and their surrounding, how they are interacting with each other is called as the ecology. So ecology is the interaction between two different organisms and their species. Interaction between two different organisms and their species is called as ecology. And finally we have reached to a very important subject which is called as ethology. They ask many times multiple choice questions with this. What is ethology? Ethology is the studying of animal behavior, how they behave in front of the other species or within their own species is called as ethology. So ethology is the study of animal behavior. So let's revise it once again. Morphology, it is the external appearance, studying the external appearance. Anatomy, it is the internal organs. This is the study of internal organs. Cytology, study of the cells, no matter what is it, no matter how is it, studying of any type of cell is cytology. Histology, study of all types of animal tissue, that is histology. Embryology, studying of different types of embryos. Studying of body and their functions is physiology. Studying of the evolution, evolutionary biology. And ecology is the interaction between the organisms, different species and within them itself. Ethology is the study of animal behavior. So we have now reached different parts of the zoology. Now we are coming to the part how zoology defines a different type of organisms. How do we say whether the organism is living in the water, whether it is living in the sky, or whether it is an organism with different types of organ systems and structures. So to narrow down our subject or to study it properly, zoology has been divided into many groups, including various basic terminologies. These terminologies are the most important, I am telling you. Why? Because when you will be reading an organism, for example cockroach, they will throw you these words. The cockroach is a cursorial. So cursorial organism, fine. But what is a cursorial organism meaning? So like that, if it is said that shark is aquatic, we have to know the word aquatic. If it is said bony fishes are pelagic, what does that mean? So these terminologies are very important when you start reading the book. This is the bridge which will take you from the basic book reading to the zoological book reading. So let's start with the basic terminologies. First is the aquatic. Aquatic we all know, aqua word means water. So the organisms living in water is the aquatic. So the organism which lives in water is aquatic. We all know, nothing different about it. Yes, of course I know it is not different, but here comes the actual thing. If it is aquatic, then there must be two parts, fresh water and marine water, right? So fresh and marine water. Aquatic is normal, we all know what lives in water is aquatic, what lives on land is terrestrial. But some of them lives in oceanic water, they are called as marine water organism. Some lives in fresh water, they are freshwater organisms. Alright. So to name a few, marine organisms are shark, rays, electric ray, stingray, octopus, they are all marine water organisms. And few organisms which always lives in freshwater like freshwater fishes, rohu, katla, we have heard of it. So there are organisms which lives only in freshwater, there are organisms which live only in marine water. Similarly, terrestrial organisms, organisms living in the land are called as terrestrial organisms. So they all live in the land. Now these organisms who are living in the land are called as the terrestrial organism. There is nothing very different about it and there is nothing that you didn't know about it. But we are coming to the point that you really need to know, and I hope this will help you further. So first we are coming to the different forms of these aquatic organisms which we called pelagic and benthic. Yes, you can get questions from this. Pelagic and benthic. What is pelagic form? Now what are these pelagic form? We can see some of the organisms here, they keep floating. You have seen the river water or maybe the oceanic water. In a pond also, you will see when you take some amount of water in the pond, some freely floating organisms like the larva of the mosquito, some of these small insects, they keep floating passively with the streams of the water. They are called as planktons or zooplanktons. So the organisms which keep floating passively with the current of the water are called as the zooplanktons. Okay. Likewise, you can name a lot number, very small insects which do not have much weight. So very small insects, the larva, the various small particles, they all form the planktons. And there are some fishes, small fishes itself, and there are some, we can say, insects, crayfishes. What they do? They swim around. Like small fishes, they have the fins. They can actively swim. So the organism which passively floats are the planktons, but the one which can swim in the water are the nectons. So zooplankton and necton together forms the pelagic forms. Alright, so that is pelagic. Pelagic means the organisms which are floating on the upper surface of the water. Now we are coming at the bottom surface. You must have seen a number of the photographs where scuba divers go down at the bottom, at the seabed, and they will click photos with the corals, with the organisms out there. What are these organisms? These organisms which scuba diver takes pictures with are the organisms called benthic organisms. So benthic organisms are the ones which are present at the base of the seabed or at the bottom of the ocean. Okay, it can be a lake, it can be a pond also. So the organisms living on the bottom, benthic, which lives on the upper layer is the pelagic. And in pelagic also, if they are not actively swimming, they are just flowing through the current, it is the zooplankton. And if it is actively swimming, like a bony fish, any kind of small fishes, they are nekton. Both plankton and nekton forms the pelagic. Alright, I hope this helped you a lot, and I can assure you this information will help you further a lot number of times. Trust me, pelagic word you are going to see a number of times. Now we are coming to this another part. This is terrestrial forms. What are these terrestrial forms? Terrestrial means living on the land. What can be different? They are living on the land. What can be different? So first is the cursorial. Cursorial plants, cursorial organisms. That means what these cursorial organisms are? Cursorial means who can run very fast. Okay, remember these points. These are very important for the exam point of view. The cursorial, the fossorial, the arboreal, scansorial, volant. They are very important. Mark it from right now. So first we are starting with the cursorial, who runs very fast on the surface or hop. Either they will be hopping or they will be running. These organisms are called as cursorial. Yes, you are right. Read it and store it in your brain. Store it in your memory. The cursorial word refers to the word called runs very fast or hopping. Okay. Fossorial. Who are these organisms? Fossorial. I will not tell you who are these organisms because you will see the diagram, you will see the pictures, and you will remember it for a longer period of time. So fossorial organism. Fossorial means the organism which lives in burrows. Do you know what is the meaning of these burrows? Which lives in burrows. Burrows means they keep digging in the sand or a soil, and they will make a whole house for them inside the soil. They will make a tunnel-like structure inside the soil, and they start living inside the soil. So they will dig the soil and live inside it. These organisms are called as fossorial. Okay, I will not give you example. Later I will come. You will tell me the examples by yourself. So the arboreal. Arboreal, we all know what these arboreal organisms. Arboreal lives in the trees. Definitely everybody knows these examples, right? You all must be knowing these examples. You all are so smart and such beautiful children. Definitely you all know what arboreal means. And we will come to the quiz part, and I am really going to see how good you react to these examples. Next it is the scansorial. What is this scansorial word means? Scansorial means, it is very different terminology, but you have seen it almost every day in your life. So what is scansorial? You must have seen a lizard walking up the wall. So the organisms which walk on the wall upright or tree are called as scansorial. They will walk like this, like a lizard, like a chameleon, like a snake. They all will be called as scansorial. And now we are coming to the volant or aerial. Now you all know volant or aerial. Examples: which flies, which lives in air or can fly. They can fly. The aerial word, wherever we see or we get the word aerial, we definitely know what it is. So organisms which can fly are volant or aerial. So now it's the time, quiz time. What are these organisms will be called? First example, cursorial. Cursorial examples. Anybody who can tell me the examples of cursorial organisms who will be running very fast? Yes, 1, 2, 3. These are the organisms, cursorial organisms. So what are these cursorial organisms? We can see kangaroo hopping, that is a cursorial organism. We can see ostrich running, that is another cursorial. We can see cockroach. Remember this, they have asked this question many times in the NEET. Cursorial organism cockroach. Cockroach is there in your syllabus and they ask this many times. Cursorial organism is cockroach in your syllabus. Remember, cockroach is a cursorial organism. Okay, very important from the NEET point of view. Next it is the fossorial organism. As I have told you, they will dig burrows. They will stay inside a cave inside the soil. So they will dig burrows and start living inside it. This is called as fossorial forms. So fossorial forms like this is an earthworm. Earthworm will dig a burrow inside the soil. See, this is the upper part of the soil where grasses and other things are there. And this is inside the soil, it has made his own house. Inside the soil, it will dig up and it will start living inside it. So this is an example of fossorial organism. This is an earthworm. Similarly, a rabbit. Rabbit also digs inside the soil and lives inside it. So that is rabbit and earthworm, they are fossorial forms. Next it is arboreal forms. As we all know, arboreal forms living in the trees. Living in the trees, the most or the simplest example we can take is the monkeys. Monkeys and bats, they also live in the arboreal form. Bats, flying fox or these monkeys, they live in arboreal form. Arboreal form means they are staying inside the or staying on the trees. Scansorial, day to day life we have seen them. Scansorial examples. Scansorial is the lizard, the wall lizard, the geckos, the chameleons, they are called as scansorial, right? Okay. Another one, volant or aerial forms. Volant or aerial forms are the birds, the organisms which can fly. Even the other flying organisms which are not birds, can you name them? Yes, it's a contest. Who can tell me the answer? In the next class, I will be asking you this question. Name the volant organisms which are not birds. Yes, you need some time to think about it, but I need the correct answer from all of you, right? So here I am reaching at the last part of our topic today, and we will be discussing rest of the part tomorrow. So here my question for all of you, read and come and find out which is the volant or the aerial organism we will have other than birds. Birds we all know, but other than birds, which other organisms are aerial? Alright, insects. Oh, right now, insects, mosquito. Hens? Since when hens are arboreal? No, not hens. Thank you all of you. Really such an impressive students you are, and very nice answers you have given. It's an honor, it's a pleasure to talk to you all and teaching you all. And we will be continuing it for a long period of time. So we will have a lot of fun in our bridge course zoology classes. We'll see you.